Welcome to Thelia, Flame Oracle.
Hello, welcome in. This reading will be for the element of water and may resonate most highly with those who identify as having strong Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer placements. You may also find yourself in a place where you are tending towards needing or giving more nurturance. You could be bringing an ending to a situation, or you could just be feeling highly intuitive. The layout for this reading will be one that explores a 4-card spread. Before we begin, let's cleanse the space. This reading will be laid out with the first card that will be looking at the primary energy for you. This will look at what emotions are the most prevalent for you at this time, to the point that you are unable to ignore them. It will reveal the central theme of what you're feeling, what you're carrying, what kind of emotional soup you're swimming around in, pretty much. It may speak to something that you've acknowledged or something that you're avoiding. So think of it as the wave rising just before it crests. The layout gives shape to the emotion that's trying to be seen. So to make this more relatable to your own real life situation, this could be the mood that you're waking up in. Something that you just can't necessarily put your hand on, but you know that it's pulling your focus and it's different. The repeating feelings showing up in different areas in your life. A truth your heart has been whispering, but your mind hasn't slowed down to catch. The second card, which will clarify or identify the shadow energy, looks at what is feeding the current or hiding behind it. These cards explore what's beneath or behind the emotional energy from the first layout. They may reveal fears, desires, projections, or misunderstood intentions, either from yourself or another. Sometimes these cards don't look as pretty, but they are honest. A relatable translation would be what's influencing your emotions even if you didn't mean to let it in. Someone else's energy tangled in yours. The why behind your tears, your irritation, if you're having cravings, or if you're just feeling like you want to be left alone in silence. Any patterns that you keep reliving without realizing it. The third card is your emotional or spiritual history. Now this is going to go a little deep. This card brings you into the deepest layer of your root experiences, your past echoes, your subconscious truth. It's not always about right now. It's about the version of you that learned to cope, protect, or dream differently based on a deeper history. This is where ancestral water, past life memory, and soul contracts can show up in your life. Relatable translations to this would be something that happened a long time ago, but still colors how you love, how you trust, how you expect, be it that you keep the gate open or closed. Unspoken grief or emotions that got trapped and are now moving. Energetic habits passed through family or your lineage. The invisible feelings under your surface reactions. Closing off, the final message is the Crown card. The Crown card looks at what the divine is asking you to hear and hold close. This final layer offers compassionate clarity and emotional guidance. It doesn't always tell you what to do, but it tells you to feel into it so you can rise in your own timing. These are often messages from your higher self, guides, or ancestral flame. Relatable translations for this can be a soft touch to carry into your week, a permission slip to feel what you need to feel, a reminder of what your soul came here to remember, the insight you needed but didn't know you were waiting for. With that said, let's begin this reading. And prefacing this reading is angel number 61683. Let's look at the primary energy that is circling around those identifying with strong water experiences or placements at this time. We have solo refuge. In solitude's embrace. In solitude's embrace, singles find strength to regroup and rediscover their path. The primary energy is holding the container of your own auric field that belongs to you and only you. This is an internal and seemingly external focus on self, what is going on within and what is being mirrored without. You could have gone through a situation where you were left, I heard the word bereft, I will say bereft. You were left bereft and feeling in need of solitude, alone time. Someone here may be an Aries. I'm hearing the behaviors of dogs, and when they are close to passing away, how they prefer to be alone. They oftentimes will choose beneath cars or houses, foundations. So it is very possible that you could have lost a pet as well, or you could have split in a partnership and needed to give over a pet to the departing partner. In addition to this, you may also have chosen to explore going off on a kind of adventure. This could be something that has to do with nature walk, portaging, joining up with a group. This could be through WhatsApp or meetups or any other social groups that are out there today. But you're taking time to look at you. Now, you're not the only one who is doing this. We do have an acknowledgement of singleness, but multiple individuals here being in the energy of singleness. So I'm getting a hint of a little bit of fairy energy. There may be some divine timing, a little bit of alluding to the possibility of having a meeting, or maybe not even necessarily having a sit-down meeting, but just being in the space and observing that alongside you, while you're having your own unique spiritual, physical, emotional experience, that there are others likewise. This I do foresee may be an opportunity to also open the door to spirit to help you elevate your emotions and your consciousness. Would you like for us to explore why you are going on a soulful journey? Okay, let's do that. Let's see why it is that you're going on a soulful journey. Why are the signs of Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer feeling the need to be on a solo journey? I was about to say Capricorn. Someone here may have significant placements in Capricorn. You may have also recently experienced a change in some earthly matter. Let's see. Why are you going through a solo refuge? Let's get 3 cards. 3 cards that will energetically stretch and help to define this energy. We have Knight of Swords. There was a fiery change. Fiery communication centered around change. We have peace in the reverse. Ghosted, disappearing, bonding, intimacy in the reverse. We'll go with the flow and accept the 4th card. So there could have been not only the disruption to your home foundation, you could have also experienced a partner exiting the relationship and calling it quits. This could have been a situation for which you held a favorable perspective and you were really hopeful that it would have yielded better quality. Okay. What is the shadow energy that is looking at the shadow energy that's tied to this? Now, before we move on to the shadow energy, I also wish to point out here with the Knight of Swords energy, the presence of this bird, communication, heart. There could have been messages here that you have been receiving through your ancestors. You could have been walking by the side of a road. You could have been walking by a mall. You could have been somewhere and possibly seen your partner's vehicle in a place where it shouldn't have been. And you caused an alarm about this. And all hell broke loose, I'm hearing. You could have possibly kicked someone to the curb as well. Okay, let's see what is beneath this emotion. Regret. We have the regret card. Regretting decisions. As I said before, these cards may not look pretty. There could be feelings of guilt here. We will explore this, what this feeling of guilt is about. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This feeling of guilt that you are currently feeling now that you find yourself needing to go on a solo pilgrimage, if you will. Spirit, what can you tell us about these regrets that water babies are experiencing, having had their peace and their household disturbed and possibly having someone leave? We have the 10 of Cups in the reverse, so a lot of crying, puffy eyes, you can't sleep, you wake up to go pee, you wake up crying, you're peeing, you're crying, you're reaching for the toilet paper, you're crying. As you hear the flushing, it reminds you of everything that went down the drain, and you cry some more. This is a lot. This is a huge loss. You could also be either you are holding yourself to signs that you may have missed with the Knight of Swords here. When it came to someone being distant, you could have been the distant party, or the partner could have been. Or are you feeling regrets beyond this loss of home, tradition, family, a lot of emotions, a lot of fulfillment? This is not just being in the bed with someone. This is about going to IKEA together and buying furnishings. This is about sending each other emails online of a deal that you may have found on eBay, or this thing that you guys have been tracking. These are trips that you have taken, trips that you planned on taking. These are family traditions. This is you going to your parents' house every 6 weeks and looking at the left side of the fence and seeing this person there looking like a fixture, and now it's gone. Spilled. Why else are you feeling this guilt? A lot of emotions here. When I was in meditation for your reading, I did feel this energy as well. We have mask not showing true self. You're feeling like you got robbed. You're feeling like you got hijacked. This is being on the highway, being stranded, in need of help, in need of an angel. But instead, it is the dark one that appears, and you end up in a body bag. Come 13 years later. It sounds so grotesque. I swear, the fool, mask not showing true self, hoping to get a free pass on a new journey. Hope because now we have loyalty in the mix. Here we have the dog and the key. The key to this energy and the fulfillment that they sat at your table and enjoyed is that they had the luxury of your loyalty. And this could be really cutting you up inside. Why else are you regretful? You're thinking you wish you never went down this road altogether. You could be also cursing the day that you even touched the lock on your door. Why else are you feeling regrets? Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Why do you regret taking this journey? Tell us. Why is it so difficult? Beyond the Ten of Cups, which really does encapsulate and speak so loudly to the magnitude of what this is, we have non-committal, independent. A part of the signs I'm getting for you, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, is that you could have seen signs that told you this person was very unreliable when it came to contracts of long term. You possibly thought you could change them, or you chose to embody an energy where you masked yourself and presented as being a lucrative offer. Okay. Let's see, we have 4 cards. Let's keep it consistent. Moving on, Spirit. For Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, let's look at the emotional and spiritual history that is affecting you being on this solo journey and feeling filled with regret. Now, a reminder, the undercurrent of this spread is that it brings you into the deeper layer of the reason why these are the experiences that you're having, your past echoes, residues of things that you may have done in the past, but you just may not have had the opportunity, time, and the segue to look at them in a meaningful way in which you could use to pivot to make change. It's not always about right now. It's about the version of you that learned to cope, protect, or dream differently based on a deeper history. We're going to look at ancestral waters, okay, and soul contracts. So let's see what is really the driving force here for you. And this may have nothing to do with you, my love. This is not about blame. It's about doing the energetic and emotional spiritual math on what's going on in your life. We have knowing you effed up. Again, here we go. There are things that you have not had the opportunity to acknowledge just yet. It's in the reverse. These are things you don't know about just yet. And there are times when, for many reasons, depending on the other placements in your card, previous life experiences, karma that you have to play out, these shadow aspects may have absolutely nothing to do with you. They may be your assignment this lifetime. Why? Because you have the gumption, you have the stuff, you have the signature, you got the walk, the talk, the smell, you got the juice. That's why. Let's get some clarifiers in this emotional history of you, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, having this shadow being cast on certain aspects of your own self, your own dynamic, how you show up in relationships, things you have not been seeing. What is the history here for water signs? Again, you may have strong Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio placements, or you may just be feeling very emotional, intuitive, or nurturing. we have the Nine of Cups. So there are ways that you go about fulfilling yourself that really F up the stew. And either you're choosing to ignore it or it's a pattern that's so ingrained in you. Yes. We have the Ace of Cups that's spun on its head, a bit sideways. It's how you satisfy yourself. Nine of Cups, Ace of Cups, 10 of Cups. There is a way that you have about you of possibly fumbling really good opportunities. What's the Nine of Cups, Ace of Cups? Why don't they know that this is an area in which there is a shadow aspect, a spiritual history that could be tied to their family line that's causing them to do this? We have the Seven of Swords. Deception. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You have a way about you where you've adopted a habit of fulfilling your desires by way of deception. So there is immaturity here about how you do things. You may feel in yourself it's all good and well. This could be even someone saying they have like a dating strategy, okay? I'll give you an example. The kind of masculine that will say, oh, I'm dating this and this person, but whenever I'm with them, I'll never take my sock off. Because energetically, people do things like this to separate themselves from being rooted in the experience and being energetically tied to you. So someone could willingly come to you wanting just to be a portable battery to plug in, siphon, and leave. They have no interest in checking up on you. They may not even allow the sweat to dry on their backs. They will be gone. So there's something about your approach in how you find fulfillment, the ultimate fulfillment. And this is why you lost it all with the Ten of Cups in the reverse. Because you lie and you are dishonest. Tell us more about this emotional, spiritual history. Five of Cups, and it keeps on causing you losses, honey. It keeps on causing you losses and affecting your ability to future plan. I'll leave it up to you to do your own soul searching. We're not going to have this be a forever reading. But you should know what this is that you do. It's how you go about feeling yourself. It's about how you go about being fulfilled and looking the look and all the stuff. But the way that you're doing it is very deceptive. And it will always leave you feeling that you are in a state of loss. Closing out this reading, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, emotional, intuitive, perceptive, and nurturing bunch. What is the crown message here from Spirit for you? I am feeling my attention being called to staying a little bit longer with the indulgence and practice of indulging in behaviors that cause you to self-sabotage. Okay, I will do that. Okay. So we're focusing on the energy of something that happened a long time ago that still colors how you feel, how you expect, what you expect in relationships, whether or not you trust someone, and how you go about finding love. Something that could have happened a long time ago for you, Pisces, could have involved some fake friends. This just popped out here. And this could have been around a time in your life when you were feeling very fulfilled. You felt like you had everything. You were contented, but there was deception and loss. This could be tied to some fake friends that were around you. However, this instant is still affecting how you go about sabotaging, self-sabotaging your relationships. This is an unspoken grief that you still have to speak about. And this could also be a grief that has been experienced by multiple people in your family. Find a tree, find a willow tree if you feel mopey, and sit under it. Better yet, even a day when it's about to rain. Should you have the convenience of living near a willow tree before it storms or rains, this is a good time for you to find some space for contemplation. Lift your head, my love, because while you are having your neck bent in regret, your guides and your ancestors are holding your crown, waiting for you to reposition yourself in your proper spot. Let's put these fake friends back away. Back and away. Let's reach for the final message. Let's not ignore that fake friends did come out. You may have some friends around you, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio placements, or those who are in the space of nurturing, growing their families, themselves, their diets, their exercise, their goals, their professions, whatever it is. There may be some fake friends here around you. What is the final message for you here? What is the final message that Spirit has for you? Before we get into the final message, again, water signs. You don't feel as though this is enough. Okay, fine. No problem. I understand. Especially with the moon cycles, you may be feeling very emotional. We have the Eight of Swords. You are bound up about sifting through your own emotionality here. Why? You're stuck in your head about it too much. Yes. Knight of Wands in the it's affecting your ability to do your day-to-day. You're in a loop, mentally, emotionally, and you need to snap out of it, okay? Snap out of it. Water signs, snap out of it. Eight of Swords, Knight of Wands in the reverse. This energy traps you from taking relationships to the next level. You may find yourself in situations where you do have an authentic and genuine energy before you, but you miss it because you're still carrying wounds from that trauma. It's up to you to decide whether or not this lesson has served its purpose, even if you may not know the complete mapping of the way forward. What do you want? Do you want to be free of this or no? Six of Wands in the challenge. Do you want victory or no? You must decide for you. You must. You are anticipating deception, and so you have this kind of trigger where if I'm dating you for a certain time, we're having certain conversations, certain words or codes are being dropped, certain emotions are being felt throughout the emotional body, and I see us moving a certain way. Your past says, ding, 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 ding. Girl, we've been here before. Sir, what are you doing? Listen, you know, it's all hoes out here. What are you doing? And that negative rhetoric starts, and what happens? You self-sabotage and end up with a loss. This is why you have a challenge with having victorious relationships. I don't think I need to say anymore, right? I feel like that's good enough. So what's the final crown card that Spirit has for you? Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. That's a lot. Way too many. Way too many. Oh, so you are gonna get over these old wounds. There may be some secrets that were hidden being revealed. Somebody's gonna feel like an idiot. Okay. One more time. Someone could have gone clubbing, or you will be getting an invitation soon. This could be a wedding, or just hanging out with your paisanos. One more time. Okay. In closing, Spirit, what is the final crown message for Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, which gives us direction as to compassionate clarity and emotional guidance for what truth you want them to carry into this week? What is the message? We have hanging on. Release the past and let yourself love again. Love you, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. The you who has made all the decisions that you have up to this point, putting some respect and value on who you are, even though they are errors. The point of the error is an indicator for potentiality of correction. Adjust yourself, adjust your perception of yourself. Let's get some clarifiers for what Spirit means when they say they want you to release the past and allow yourself to love again. Sometimes, Spirit, we're deep in the bag, we're deep in the bottle. Some of us are nose deep on the table, God forbid. Yeah, don't walk lines. Angel number 65577. Let's see. Love signs, meanings. In the reverse, you are very closed off. There could be people around you that want to make advances. You could also have single parent responsibilities that you're using as a cover to not live your life. Stop being a mopey, whiny sponge. Okay? Can't be like this all year. Especially if you live in a place where it snows. My friend, summer is almost done. Okay? Let's not waste our time and our energy. You know that you won't feel like this a year from now. And in that knowing, there is space for you to alchemize this so that it's not as drawn out as your emotions could have you wanting it to be. Well, we don't want the accordion experience, okay? No Buffy and the Vampire Slayer leaned up against the wall with a stake to the heart and incapable of death. Even now, I swear that man still be leaned up against the door frame, okay? We don't want that. You are using your future self. If you have a child, you stop using your child as an excuse to close yourself off for love, because you know what? Every time you put a pot on the stove, you make a cup of tea, you give them their baba, you give them their dinner or whatever, you are infusing everything that you are doing in the food. When they are around you in your energy field, they're tethered to you. Parents, be that you are a parent or no, this could also be a call for you to parent yourself. You made mistakes. Does that mean that you are unlovable? You see how ridiculous it looks now? Stop hiding behind your child. You're being called to greater despite the error. You are. We have the Chariot that fell. You are being called to movement, action, nurturance. And this was underneath it, the Two of Wands in the reverse. Spirit doesn't want to hear you whining, moping, or hear you sniffling in the corner anymore. or see you reaching for another napkin. It's time to move. It's time to get your emotions with this Cancer energy in the upright as well. Final card for Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Gambling. Take a chance, pal, on you. You're worth it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Someone's name could be Maybelline, or you could have just seen, or you may see during this reading, an advertisement. Don't know. Maybe after. Oh boy. Okay. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Be aware of your drinking habits. Be aware of your value systems when you are around other people, especially if you are going to a work event. Be conscientious. If this is a social event and you have the ability to drink, be conscientious about your environment. And if you have a Taurus in your energy, be conscientious about how much of yourself that you give. Be temperate. This energy may incite something in you that may want you to go a bit overboard. Be mindful, okay? That's it for your reading, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Thank you so much. Until next read, that's it. Bye for now.
If you felt the flame, it wasn't just a message, it was memory. This is Thelia, Dragon Seer, Phoenix born, voice unstolen, truth untamed. Leave only if your soul has had enough. But if you're still burning, come back. And remember, the dragons, they're always watching.